Okie dokie, there we go. Gotta unmute before I say things upon walking back. Let's pour this son of a gun, and then we'll be ready and rearing, good to go. Just about ready to get us one of those them wins I've heard so much about. I hear it takes 10. So let's give it a shot, why don't we? The weekly pack of our dreams. Early horse, hey? No summons yet, but I think we bring out a horse. Shaboom. No pillbug. I want a grasshopper. Do I take second horse? It's not great for the moment. But let's live for the future, shall we? In fact... Oh, don't combine them by accident. Maybe this or this? Do I think the opponent will put a 3 health unit in the front or not? That's what this all boils down to at the end of the day here. Hey, Cocktail Justice, how's it going? Love the zebra shirt. Does it look like zebras through the camera? If you take a closer look, you got all sorts of sea creatures on there. You got your sharks, your scuba divers, and your octopuses. Which always makes me remember, that's one of my favorite little bits of entomology research, is people talking about the pluralization of octopus. Because, from what I understand, because I read it on the internet and therefore it's true, it's not octopi. I always said octopi growing up because it was funny and clever. But of course octopi would only be if octopus was from a Latin root. If it was a Greek root, then it would be octopodes. But then it would probably be octopode as well, much like we see in DCSS. Okay, fine. You love the octopus shirt. Hey, whatever floats your boat. I can be a zebra for you, Cockatiel. I appreciate it. But thank you. Definitely one of my favorite ones. What does the weekly pack mean, Colgate? So essentially every week it takes an amalgamation of both the initial pack, the free pack in the game, because to play this game it actually is totally free to do the kind of original base pack, and then also from the 2 expansions that have come out since, and it jumbles them all up into a strange mixture. So you get to experience some wacky and wild combinations, and the weekly pack is also totally free, which is neat. You watched that Merriam-Webster clip, didn't I? Potentially. I don't know where it came from. That's, again, just something on the internet. I do all my browsing in incognito windows because I'm paranoid about not revealing my history, because it doesn't matter. I'll tell you that now. If you use an incognito window, it does not matter. Your internet provider knows exactly what sites you're visiting. It's more so I don't clog up my history. But hey, ancient Greeks, what's the plural of octopus? Oh god, there's more than one. That's the nightmare, for sure. There's only one octopus, clearly. Yep, that's the belief that I've long held. I mean, have I ever seen more than one octopus? Really makes you think. Do your own research, people. That's why you use a VPN. And that's why today's episode is sponsored by Super Easy and Finish. The Mustakella becomes Mustakella. That's nice. Plural octopus is octopi. Oh gosh, you're gonna have to fight in the linguistical arena with that kind of opinion. It's all over the place. And what's plural of octopus? Innsmouth? How do I know France exists, Tor? Have I ever been there? I have actually been to France, so I think it might exist. It all might have been one giant trip, a bit of a dream state that I entered for a couple months at a time, but you never know. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all just shadows dancing on the cave wall, so come on, sheeple, unshackle yourself and walk out. There's a whole wide world out there. But of course, we can pick our name while we're rambling off into tangents left, right, and center. And we get moody, big, and subtle packages, stickers, and beams. So subtle stickers or big beams are the 2 alliterations, or alliterative options, if you will. But big or subtle packages is pretty good. I mean, we're all big fans of ordering our things online these days. I don't know what you were thinking about, because I was definitely thinking about packages that arrive at your door. Definitely nothing else there. Okay, what's just you, cockatiel? Maybe, maybe. It depends from browser, and in Brave, incognito goes through. Oh, you're right. Brave is pretty good. It goes through torso. Internet provider had a bit of a rough time trying to figure out which sites you visited. I've just been a recent convert over to Brave. I don't have it on my main computer yet, but it's what I use at work. Subtle packages. Thanks, Safid. Making my decisions a lot easier. And listen, you get in a plane, you fly around above God knows what with no sense of direction for hours, and when you sit down, they tell you you're in France. You can't know for sure, especially since I'm coming from Canada. It could just be Montreal. Maybe I took off from Montreal, since that's one of the bigger airports in terms of layover flights coming out of Canada internationally. It's either going to be like Montreal or Toronto. So I land in Montreal. People are speaking French. I get on a plane. I fly for 8 hours. And then suddenly, they're still speaking French. You might be onto something, Dr. Pirate. France doesn't exist. An exactly chameleon allegory of the cave indeed. Okie dokie. So what do we do with this squad now? Does the seahorse have a place? Seahorse does kind of have a place for if we're running into a squad that's anything like our own. Yank these filthy summon buffers up to the front line and see how they like it. So what I'm feeling is we do something like this. Bring out a seahorse. Oh. Don't desync me. Perfect. Then the question kind of becomes... Iguana seahorse is pretty cool. Also, iguana's anti-summon. I have been convinced. Didn't take a lot. But by gosh, have I ever. Give me something like that. Give it to me straight, doctor. And roll me. I mean, I'll freeze that whole shot. Probably want to save up some room for some tier 2s rather. But it's not bad. Not bad. Do I go to Starbucks? I do. I'm ashamed to admit. Answer me now. Sorry, Savage. I'm so sorry. Yes, I go to Starbucks. I'm sorry. So sorry. No, I've been suckered into the idea of buying fancy coffees. Drip coffee don't do it anymore. Though I do like to make them at home as well. Got way too lazy over the course of COVID, but one day, I keep telling myself, one day I'll go back to making my own fancy flat whites and whatnot. I have a little milk frother, and I have a nice French press, speaking of France. But how did I learn of this game, Cocktail Justice? You know, I'm not too sure. It was a while back that it came out. I might have watched it come up like on a YouTube feed or my YouTube feed at some point, somebody playing it, or I might have just stumbled into it because it was like trending on Steam or something all over the place. Well, you use mostly LibreWolf for your browser, but it does not do everything you want, so you also use a bit of Brave. Sometimes you gotta mix and match the browsers. That's something going into web development. You look at the big stat charts where it's like, this is what each browser is capable of, what plugins actually work, what extensions are available, and what your app might have problems with. And it is a bit of a grab bag, a hodgepodge, if you will, of things. Freeze food too, it feels lonely in Thaw World. Yeah, we do whatever we can so it doesn't feel so lonely in Thaw World. And with the coffee narrator voice, he never did. I don't believe so. But I will continue to lie to myself, just for the sake of it. Cocktail, you saw Northern Line playing it, you tried it, but you liked Storybook Brawl better. I've seen a couple people playing Storybook Brawl. Yeah, so I've been meaning to kind of check that game out at some point. I think it was somebody that we were rating for a while was always playing it. And I mean, it looks like fun. I'm not a huge... what are these games called? Auto Battler in general, but I definitely got a bit hooked on Super Auto Pets specifically. Yeah, I think Northernline still plays it probably, as well as Stans. Stans plays a lot of Super Auto Pets. There are a few others that occasionally show up on my random feed, but I don't watch a lot of Super Auto Pets content these days. Especially since I think I went for a long time where I didn't want to spoil too much of the new expansion, so it was kind of shying away a little bit. But now is my time to shine. When you were a youngin', your job was web dev using SQL Server 7 and ASP.NET. Then you decided to go to law school. I think you mentioned before, Safid. A huge shift. See, I'm the opposite, where I was almost going to go to law school for a long time. That was kind of my dream because I was a huge fan of not just arguing for the sake of arguing, but making convincing arguments and trying to juggle facts and things like that. But then I ended up transitioning into more of a physics side of things. I loved science as well. Went to school for astrophysics, then came out of school and decided to do some programming instead. So it's been a bit of a journey for sure. Don't worry, Safid, you took up the torch for them. You Devin, is there a SQL server in C# that you do, Dr. Pirate? Yeah, they need a web developer on a pirate ship? Good lord, oh, definitely. You think that the pirate industry hasn't developed alongside the tech world? I mean, you gotta stay with it if you want to be anything in this world. Exactly, like Dr. Pirate says, programming is useful everywhere. You can't get away from it in this day and age. Both being a doctor and being a pirate, surprisingly enough, requires a huge amount of computation. So the programming comes in handy, ship to shore, regardless of how you shake it at the end of the day. As I dribble on my shirt and fail to swallow properly. Oh, you know those painful swallows where you like swallow a bubble as well as the liquid? It was the tiniest of sips, but oh, I don't know if I'll ever recover, honestly. I mean, it's a miracle I survived at the end of the day. Don't take anything for granted, kids. You never know when you might choke and die on your beverage live on stream. I'll be fine. Thanks, Cocktail. I needed some level of reassurance. Here, I thought it was going to be the end of it all. Hoisted by my own petard. Only in this case, my petard is a lovely, delicious, and cool cold beverage. Great for a hot day like today. Then focus as I swallow. You've literally saved 5 people from dying from choking? Are you trying to tell me that have you been... Oh, you're a nurse. I was gonna accuse you of attempting to murder 5 people with choking. But that makes sense. That makes sense. Big ups on you for being a nurse, especially depending on where you live. I feel like that's a hugely underappreciated field that does not get, not necessarily just enough recognition, but enough, pay, benefits, that kind of thing. Especially here in Alberta, it's a bit of a nightmare. If you're a teacher or a nurse, I mean, sure, you're a critical worker that's super important for the continuation of our society, but that doesn't mean you're not going to get your pay cut like a beast, unfortunately. With logistics, inventory, crew rotation, shipping lane scheduling, you hardly have any time with the bone saw. And that's where the programming comes in, Dr. Pirate. You can do all that and more by simply spending about 3 weeks to program something that saves you 5 minutes, maybe 4 times throughout the day. It's perfect. And you mean they wouldn't live if you wanted to murder them? That's the job for sure. You're in the business of saving lives, but you take lives just as easily as you give them. Okie dokie. Perfect time to lose. That's why we lost on purpose, so we could of course do the snail play. Absolute genius maneuver on our end. And let's see, maybe a wombat? I think it's all we really got going for us. Seahorse should probably take a little bit of a back line here. It's no longer quite as useful as it once was. Like this? Your cocktail's patient, no cap? Oh, wow. What a small world we live in. Well, welcome. The pair of you, the lot of you. It's always nice to see relationships forming out there in the wild world. Your cocktail's patient, and they aren't dead? Well, if that's not a ringing endorsement, I don't know what is. It doesn't get much better than not being dead. So job well done, Cocktail. You're a heck of a soldier out there. What do I buy with my last 3 gold, though? Oh, could roll once and hope for something to replace my seahorse. Your great friends, and he brought you here. Well, thanks, Cocktail, for spreading the word to your friends. I hope it's not too much of a disappointment now that you're here, Savage Speeder. I haven't completely ruined your day. Yeah, you had him come watch me, so I can give you all the money. Quiet, Cockatiel. That's supposed to be under the table. We're not supposed to talk about that. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to start giving everyone money. I guess I just buy a cupcake. When in doubt, buy a cupcake. But no, your paycheck's coming in the mail, Cockatiel. One of these days. That's the beauty about mail and using it, is you have perfect culpability. Not my fault if it never arrives. It must have gotten lost in the mail, of course. 9.5 out of 10. It's a great time. Perfect. That's what we love to hear. I mean, nobody's perfect, so I'm not going to strive for the 10. A 9.5 is way above what I grade myself on the average day, so heck yeah, I will take that. That's way above passing. And I'm usually just going for a passing grade. Why am I freezing stuff? Get the heck out of here. Roll up. There we go. A rooster is not too bad. That means we sell you. We bring a bit of a roost out. Bring the chickens home to roost. And I guess that's about it. It's way above what I deserved. See, that's what we need. We need someone to bring me up and then nail me back down to realism. It's the perfect balance. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. I love it. Also, thank you, Savage Speeder, for the follow. I appreciate it. Honestly, I just appreciate you dropping on by and giving it a shot. So, you're above and beyond. That's a 9.5 out of 10 in my books, if I ever saw one. Each and every one of you come out, even all of you who are just lurking in the background. I think you all get 9.5s out of 10s from me, just because I have one heck of a time all hanging out together. Blobfish is in this pack and pills. Huh. How about that? Well, I think we feed another bee. We're really leaning into the summon build, even though I'm worried that a single iguana is just going to murder the majority of my squad. Like Rooster, not actually very good. You're mostly teasing. Wait, you're not totally teasing? Oh, my feels, my self-esteem. It's not like I'm heavily arrogant and way more overconfident than I have any right to be, given the fact that I'm a just slightly above garbage level human being, but oof, how will I ever recover? No, it fits well. It's nice to have the pump up and the put down, because that fits in perfectly with my style of humor, which is all about jeez, can't talk at all. Again, brain is one part, but I like to mix it up between self-aggrandizing and self-deprecating humor. So if I can just play off 2 different people in the audience, pretend to be the best person in the world, a hero among people, and then on the other side call myself a bit of a trash panda who deserves to live in the dirt, then that's just your average Wednesday, my dude. He's the good cop, you're the bad cop. Exactly. That's exactly what I need in life. That's what keeps the people going, keeps the people coming. He's never teasing, run away, get out while I can. Thanks for the heads up, Savage. You would know. You'd know them best. Don't you worry. So far, I've somehow miraculously managed to not dox myself, so maybe, just maybe, I'm safe from the advance of the cockatiel. That's all we can really ask for in life at the end of the day. Do I keep this wombat around? Do you have a spot in our squad? Do you have what it takes to have a permanent spot on the squad, my wombat friend? I don't know. I don't know. Regardless, we're gonna throw a little bit your way. See how it tastes, see how it feels, and see how it goes. Now, do I want to sell my horse for a penguin? Horse isn't great at this moment in time. I'm just hoping to replace it with the turkey, really, at the end of the day. Golia, you had a fun run in Tome. Nice, you're still playing some of the Tales of Majael. Is that right? I think that's what that stands for, right? You one-shotted yourself because among popcorn enemies there was one who could reflect damage and you did not bother to read popcorn. That's the thing about popcorn, is it allows, after the animal faints, it actually summons an animal of the same tier. So yeah, you definitely gotta keep that in mind. You were talking Super Auto Pets within Tome, right? Much like Super Auto Pets is just a DLC that is within DCSS. The Lair expansion, as we like to call it here. You're talking together while using, or while watching me using the Xbox app. Perfect. If I could become a family affair, friendly affair even, I guess, and more so in this case. Good old college fun for the whole family. That is fantastic. Cocktail, you got 2 rune stain. You've never gone further. Savage Speeder told you to use a demon spawn and you loved it. Nice. Demon spawn are a lot of fun. It's cool how much the game kind of shifts and adapts over the course of your run, and every once in a while you'll just get that god seed where you get all of the mutations that just fit perfectly with each other. Demon spawn used to be probably my favorite species. It's been a little bit superseded now by like Genie I love, and Knolls are actually one of my top, but you can't go wrong with a good old demon spawn. That's actually the character that's my infinite character that is going through ziggurats for as long as I'm able to keep them alive, though I don't play them as much these days as I have in the past, is a demon spawn with a really nice, really beautiful set of mutations. You want all the popcorn Savage Speeder? Hey, like minds think are great. That's not how that idiom goes. Making Malifaux left and right and all over the place. But great minds do think alike. I'm a huge popcorn proponent. I am all about that popped corn lifestyle. Largely because any food that is more so just a vessel for salt, that's my ideal snack. Miss me with that sweet stuff. I'm looking for something salty to the furthest extent of the law, of course. Give a pet lemon? No, I don't think I will, game. Make me. I'm looking for turkeys. I'm looking for turkeys, I said, but I guess I could take a monkus instead. Bit of monkus energy out there. Let's try it out. We're throwing everything into the wind here. Some chocolate. Could be nice on the rooster. Trying to get that to level 2 as soon as we can here, since it'll keep buffing itself up. Does mean we'll eventually have to swap it back so it has room for all the chicks. But such is life, as we all know. Let's just do it. I have no clue what's happening with this team. I don't know how we've only lost 1 run so far. It's out of control. You didn't know what a demon spawn was, but you chose it because it reminded you of you? Perfect. See, people can get all up in arms and you can debate endlessly, pontificate until the end of the world on the various strategic decisions that one can make. But at the end of the day, it's more about the flavor, the feel, and the narrative, the storyline that you bring into being. I can definitely live by that. You aren't wrong about that, Savage. Oh, what a fun relationship you two have. I need more friends. One day I'll know what it's like to have a friend. Wouldn't that be cool? Dr. Pirate, you've never considered it before, but the retort to great minds think alike is that idiots also agree on the same thing. This is 100% true. But not when it's not when it's applying to me, right? I'm a great mind. I'm a genius. I'm a modern day Einstein. As I watch all my colorful emojis bash each other. You know, the game of the thinking man, as it were. I'm 100% correct. The gameplay in Mass Effect kind of was boring, but you kept playing for the story. I need to, that's actually a game that I need to go back to sometime. I'm ashamed to admit it. It's true. I'm not the gamer I'm pretending to be. I've never played Mass Effect. I think I played a little bit of it, but I've never owned it myself, so it's on the list. In fact, a lot of space games, as much as I love space, I mean, yeah, I went to school for astrophysics for heaven's sake, but I still haven't played Dead Space or Mass Effect, both of which I definitely want to get to at some point. Dead Space because I love creepy horror games, especially when they're more of that thriller side. Sure, there are some jump scares. Third time's the charm, some jump scares. Hey, we got there. Can I get a round of applause for saying the word right? Some guffaws for saying the word wrong. Get all sides of the coin. And you only have one friend, please help. Hey, you're better off than a lot of us out here. And no, you think we both agree we're smart? Yes, quite. I concur, my gentleman. Or my person, sorry. My doctor pirate. Of course not when it applies to me. Oh, definitely not. I supersede all labels and traditions and boundaries, and instead I'm a walking deity of knowledge and whatnot. Elaborate in your own heads. You mean you are a genius who went through nursing school without studying once? Also, I should be ashamed. I am ashamed. I'll play one day, Cockatiel. I promise. It's on the list. And Dead Space Remake coming January. Ooh. You don't say. I mean, I already own the original Dead Space, even though I haven't played it. But you're telling me I could play it and it would look shiny? I'm intrigued, excited, and very much interested. Okay, let's see. We have 2 1s. We have 1, 2, 4, 5. What are you? You're a 5. I could bring a poodle into this world. Get rid of my iguana. We're kind of shifting gears here. I don't know if we can shift fast enough, though. But this gives us enough money to do that. And that's something. Do astronomers get offended if people confuse them for astrologists? Depends on the astronomist. I'm sure some do, especially if they get it all the time. For me, like, I wouldn't call myself an astrologist. I don't know jack when it comes to star signs. I think I might have an app on my phone that would give me my horoscope because I once on a lunch break with coworkers was convinced to see what's up, see what's hip-hop happening in terms of my my horoscope. But besides that, I know nothing whatsoever. I'm a bit of a dum-dum. But no, I wouldn't be offended. I'm just happy you're talking to me, Colgate. Again, I'm in desperate need of friends. Cocktail's a savant at Universal Precautions. Heck yeah. Well, Minions 2 comes in July. Oh my gosh. What will I possibly do? Will I play Dead Space in January or watch Minions 2 in July? I can only do one. Oh gosh, it's Sophie's choice. How is one man supposed to handle this much responsibility? Also, why did I put you back there? Wombat, you should be there. That's about where you deserve to be in life. No offense. I wouldn't mind some pair action. Gives you more health that is useless when I mold you into, or rather meld you into this other rooster. Kind of fricked up what we're doing there. I guess it's not that much worse than making chicken nuggets. You basically just turn them into a paste. At least my roosters are free range, living the good life. By which I mean that they get an extra 10 centimeters of space to walk around, you know. Way above the standards set by the industry, and that makes me a bit of a hero to the chicken population. You did not expect that reaction, but it was the only correct response. Hey, you know, it was right there. I mean, you didn't even have to say it. You didn't even have to expect it. It was plain to see for everyone, I feel. We all knew the importance of the Minions 2 versus Dead Space dichotomy. You know, there's not much more that gets the people going than that. as we're slowly but surely falling from grace in terms of our super auto pet run. We'll still get it. We'll still get there. You can't take ownership over him. Well, I mean, if he wants you to take ownership over him, then by all means, to each their own. But otherwise, I feel like that's a good thing. Don't want to take ownership over people unless it's a consensual thing, you know? You know what? We're changing gears. We're shifting here. For the third time in a single run, I'm gonna switch it up on you. Keep it fresh, keep it interesting. You never know what's gonna hit. It's all out of control here. I think your favorite thing about the whole pink goo uproar was people being upset about it, clearly and totally oblivious apparently. How you make chicken soup. How really most of our food is made. I mean, it's a pretty interesting process. Anything that's cheap. Bro, what the hell if you thought you were friends? Top 10 anime betrayals live in chat? I'm just here for the drama. You're here to watch me? Screw that, I'm here to watch you. Dance, my puppets, dance. Slap them. Slap him. Do it. But let's also, while we're at it, buy a chocolate for our snack. Are you allowed to feed snakes chocolate? I mean, everyone knows that you're not really supposed to feed dogs chocolate, but we don't talk about whether we should be feeding our snakes chocolate. And I think that that's an undervalued prospect in today's age. And you just meant he's a giant weirdo, but it's okay. Hey, fitting right in. And you mean you were simply trying to derail the conversation? I mean, that's the thing. I derail the conversation so much on my own that I feel like any attempts to do so from the outside just ends up with me doing basically the same thing anyway. Oh gosh. That iguana can't be legal, right? That just killed my whole freaking squad. Jeez Louise. You mean if you want chicken stock, you take the bones and other leftovers and boil them, but somehow eating something made of that leftover meat was unthinkable? A lot of things that we put in our mouth are unthinkable when you boil it down to what's actually going on behind the scenes. I mean, just, yeah, again, I made light of the chicken coop situation, but it is a disgusting nightmare in the majority of places around the world. Yeah, I don't even have anything fun to say about that. Just leck. It's a similar thing where, like, people get really obsessed about the, you know, the coloring of your food and how appealing it looks, how appetizing it seems. But so much of that is just a lie because the vast majority of foods in a commercial grocery store are just dyed. Like, relish, gray mush. Most, like, sauces and things like that, also just gray mush. Tomato sauce gets a pass because at least it stands proud, even though they probably throw some food dye in there. Red 11 or something like that just to make it really pop, you know? You gotta stand out from the crowd. You gotta sell. Sell. RageNet Rocket League is not weird, just an average Tuesday. Preach. This looks like a rather difficult game. Then again, only an auto battler, or the only auto battler you played is Hearthstone Battlegrounds. That's basically just matching 3 of the same minion. I love match games. That sounds great. And honestly, not that different. Yeah, I'm also just matching 3 of the same animal. Chicken nuggets, literally inedible. Chicken soup, it's good for you. Eat it, kids. Exactly, it's all about the perception. Still, my zebra shirt is great. Best zebra shirt I own, really.